Hey there, everybody. How's it going? Nice to see you again. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a blessed day. All right, so about a week ago, I went out, I don't know, a couple of days ago, I went out with the Hasselblad to test a film back, and I did some night photography in the cold, and it was fun, but I came away with this shot here. And I came back and I processed the film and I scanned the film and I printed this out. And I looked at it and I said to myself, you know, there's a shot there. I see, in my mind, I had a shot. And that's what Ansel would call pre-visualization. Okay, I mean, technically, you probably shouldn't make it a habit of going out and photographing a roll and then coming back and looking at it and then getting an idea for a shot. That could get really expensive. And most shots you can't do that because you can't really go back under the same conditions, obviously. But that's what happened this time. And so I said to myself, I said, self, why don't I take my 4x5 out, which I will show you the fun and games we had with that in the 27-degree weather. And why don't I see if I can dial in that shot. So I went out with the 4x5, the Intrepid Hardwood 4x5, and I processed the film, I scanned it, I printed it out on the Epson Pro 1000 printer. And in DxO Photo Lab, I cropped it square, but I also cropped it in a little bit. So this is about a 3-inch by 3-inch section of the negative, which is still a big negative. But anyway, this was closer to what I had envisioned. There were all kinds of issues, but I'll show you that while I was doing it. And just shooting with a 4x5 at night. And the thing is this is incredibly sharp, like sharper than anything I've seen digitally, sharper than anything I've done recently. And the tonality is absolutely spot on. It's exactly what you're looking for in a black and white image. Okay, so the next night I said to myself, you know, I think I'll go out with the Sony a7R5 and see if I can recreate the shot just to A/B compare them and see what kind of quality image I get from that. And so I came back with this. And in comparing them, the Sony, in terms of sharpness and resolution, is really close. Okay. The 4x5 has a little bit more of a 3D feeling to it. And the 4x5 tonality is better, but the Sony is really good. So to put it into perspective, and this is the nth degree. If you're A-Bing them, you can see a difference, and I prefer the 4x5 image. But if I didn't have the 4x5 image and I just looked at the digital image, I'd be like, that's just fine. I mean, not just fine, that's great. Okay, but I'll put it to you this way: the Sony a7R5 digital image is great, and the 4x5 image is better. So I'll let you make of that what you will. Okay, either is way more than good enough. So there is that. So then last night I went out and I took the Hasselblad because the 4x5 image and the Sony a7R5 image are better than the original Hasselblad image. And that got me thinking, and I said, well, now I'm curious, how good is the Hasselblad, right, in this situation? Because here's an opportunity to A-B-C compare them. And why? Just because I can, just because it's fun. But anyway, it's what I enjoy, so there is that. So so I took a roll of film in the Hasselblad. It's back here somewhere, and I'm mixing up some chemicals to process that film, and I'll show you that as well. But right now, let's go to the fun and games that we had photographing in 27-degree weather with an Intrepid Hardwood 4x5. So here I am, 27 degrees, headed down to 17 tonight. Yeah, that's a little frigid, but this is the scene, and I'm going to set the 4x5 up over here. I don't shoot a lot of 35 millimeter, and so a roll of 36 lasts a long time. I should shoot more 35 millimeter. Everything is harder in the dark. And the cold. I think that this is going to be maybe a 210 shot. I'll try the 210. Tighten everything down as I go here. See what the 210 does for me. I've got Ilford FP4 Plus, and I know the exposure is a minute. And then I've got Cat Labs 80 also. Interesting. I focused on the path light. That's about the only thing I can see, and I'm using that as a reference for my composition because everything else is dark. Yeah, the lamp is sharp. Yeah, so wow, my hands are cold. I took my gloves off. F32. So what did we say? 11 was 1 minute, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, that's it. That stopwatch is going to get a workout tonight. All right, sheet 1A is F32 for 10 minutes. All right. Ten minutes. Ouch. All right, so I've got a 1 liter beaker of water with over 125 degree temperature water. Stir. Now I'm going to measure out 100 grams of sodium sulfite. 100 grams sodium sulfite. And then I've got a separate dealy whacker there. And then I need 7.5 grams of Nikkor. So, first thing I need to do is get 750 milliliters approximately of this hot water. Close enough. Get that stirring. I got this lab stirrer off of Amazon. I think it was 15 bucks. So I take a little bit of the sodium sulfite, just a pinch, and that helps buffer the Nikkor. And then once that's going, then I can dump in the Nikkor. Alright. The next thing I need is the sodium sulfite after the Nikkor dissolves. It looks like it's dissolved. Hydroquinone is hygroscopic, so it will absorb water, so they keep it in this plastic bag. It's also a pretty nasty chemical. And I need 5 grams of hydroquinone. All right. So, sodium sulfate in. Pour that in slowly. So one of the ingredients is borax. And I went up to Walmart and I got 20 mule team borax, which is like a lifetime supply because they only use 2 grams. But before I had done that, I had ordered some from Photographer's Formulary. So I'll just use that up first. 2 grams of the borax. And the sodium sulfite is all mixed up for the most part. We can put in the hydroquinone. Let that stir. And basically, this is actually Ansell's D76 formula, and I have it up on the wall here. And you just put the chemicals in order. Hydroquinone looks like it did its thing, and then we'll put the borax in. Let that zip. And then you fill it up with colder water. I like to clean out my dishes, make sure I got all my chemicals in there. Make 1 liter. Give that a stir. Clean out the dishes. Yep, I got cavitation. Put those on the drying rack. Clean off my spoons. Stick that in there. Now I will come back in a couple of hours as the temperature drops, but I'm not going to let this mixture get below 70, 65 degrees. I want to see if that's what's precipitating out my chemistry. ID11 and D76 are the same thing, kind of. But let me show you what's going on here. Maybe you can see this. So I don't know if you see the crystals in there, but something precipitated out. So I'm just going to dump that. It's a shame because that was good development. Alright, in 3 or 4 hours we have some developer to develop my film from last night. Now I would have developer if it hadn't precipitated out, so this is not something you have to do every time you mix film. You shoot film. You don't have to mix chemicals every time you shoot film. As long as your D76 is less than a month old in the stock solution, it'll be fine. Okay, so that was mixing up the chemistry, and all those chemicals are available at Photography's formulary. And what's beautiful about the dry chemicals is until you mix them up, they last for a very, very, very long time. And I won't say how long, but those chemicals are a couple of years old already. They're just fine. So the next video will be processing the film and then scanning and taking a look at it. Okay, so there it is. Thanks for watching. And the next video will be along in the next day or so, and that'll be processing the film, scanning, and taking a look at it. And then if when all this is said and done, I may head into the darkroom and do some wet prints to see where that process is at. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And I appreciate it. And check out my Patreon page, link in the description below. And I have a book out, A Painter Passing Through, which is on my website if you're interested. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you out there. Have a great one. Bye.